attention, and bow. So this is the video for week 1 through 3. We're gonna review all the skills we're doing in class for week 1, 2, and 3. So let's start with the kickboxing skills. So attention and bow, kicking stance loud, yep. So jab, cross. Jab is your front hand. The jab goes straight out. It goes straight from the starting point to the ending point, just like that. And you can see my fist looks flat this way. It's not this way, it's not upside down, but straight out. I'm actually emphasizing the first 2 knuckles. That's where the power goes. So when I count the number, you gotta do a jab fast as you can. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The next move is jab cross. So that means after the first one, I'm gonna twist and turn on the next one. Now the reason I twist and turn is for 2 reasons. One, my hip is adding lots of power into this punch. The second reason is to get a longer distance. Like if I'm standing sideways, you'll see real obvious. Here's that jab. Now if I just did a cross and I didn't turn, you can see it's real short. But if I twist and turn, now I get a lot longer reach. So more reach, more power. So let's do it like this. We're gonna do a jab first and then twist and turn for the cross punch. Let's try it together. Jab goes first, twist and turn for the punch for the cross. On my count, ready? 1, jab, and cross. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, hook punches are next. So the first hook punch is going to be with my front arm. So I realize I'm standing mirror image. I'm going to call this my left arm, even though it's really my right arm. But from your mirror image, if you do the same thing as me, so the front arm is going to do a hook punch into the side of the jaw. Now, here's a couple of points. My arm is going to go flat like this. My elbow and fist are the same height. And I turn my fist this way. So it's not like this, but it's this way, kind of like thumbs up. Karate's positive. And then the important part is my hip is what does the turn. So it's not my arm that does this as much as it's my hip that does the actual turn. So my heel is going to come up off the ground. And the power comes from the twist. So let's try the front arm hook to the jaw. Ready? 1, twist that hook. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now the rear arm is going to do the same thing, but this one's going to go into the body, into the ribs. So the first one is to the jaw, second one's in the ribs. Notice that my heel's coming up, front heel comes up, and the other rear heel comes up because all the power is coming from my hips. So we're going to do it like this. We're going to go 1 and then 2. You're going to breathe on the first punch, and then the second one. That's going to be your yell. Ready, set, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the next move, the last move for this week is going to be bob and weaves. This is the one we do in week 3. So bob and weave is the one where I get out of the way. You can imagine someone like a boxer is throwing a hook punch at my head. I'm getting out of the way and then coming up so I can do a follow-up. So the important things are, my hands will actually start to go by my temples. If I'm going to put my head down by the other guy's knees or something, I got to cover up my face. So maybe I was here in my guard, and then as I start to go down, my hands go by my temples. I've got to bend using my legs, so it's not like I bend at my waist. That's bad on my back, but I got to bend with my knees, so I use the muscles as I go side to side. Actually, I'm going to borrow Mr. Lemke as my partner. This makes a little more sense when you can see it with a partner. So here we go, tension and bow. He's going to, maybe he'll stand here. He's going to put his arm out like it's on my shoulder. That's pretty much just like he's swinging at me. It's like a snapshot of where it is. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to bob weave to the one side and the other side. So you could have mom or dad stick their arm out or something like that. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Thanks, Mr. Lemke. So that's jab cross, hook, and bob and weave. Now we're working on roundhouse kicks. So here's the warm up for roundhouse kicks. You're going to start on your hands and knees. So here I'll face a little sideways. just a little bit on an angle. So round one, my knee is going to point exactly sideways. My knee points to the target and only my foot moves. So this is real different than last cycle when we did side kicks. Side kick, we said your knee must move in and out. This is like completely the opposite. Now your knee must never move, only your foot's gonna move. So my knee goes totally sideways and only the foot moves. To me, it looks like a door that's on a hinge, kind of like that. So let's do 10 with each leg. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Opposite leg, same thing. Point your knee straight to the side of your body. Like it's going right to the side of the room. Knee holds still. Only the foot moves. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Round two, I want you to think about your foot. When I kick, I want to point my toes as far as I can, get the longest reach possible. So here we go. Ready? 1, reach. 2, reach. 3, reach. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Opposite leg, reach as far as you can. Ready? 1, point your toes. 2, reach. 3, reach. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, round three. Here's the last warm-up. If I'm in my guard stance, the third thing to think about is my hip is my aimer. It's going to point right to the target. Now, it's really different than a side kick. Remember, side kick, we said your butt's going to aim at the target. So side kick, we would turn really far. We would push with the heels. This is completely different. So now I'm only going to turn so my hip is facing the target. Now my knee is also going to point to the target when I do my kick. The important thing now is that my leg's going to be flat like a tabletop. Here, I'll just kind of face this way, just like this. So I gotta turn my hip to the target, point my knee to the target, tabletop. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, tabletop, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Opposite leg, same thing. Get your hip to the target. Point your knee to the target, flat like a tabletop. Ready, get set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so here's the 2 kicks we've been working on in weeks 1 to 3. I'm gonna have Mr. Lemke hold a speed paper for me. I'll do it right to the paper. At home, I'd recommend also use a speed paper or a piece of cardboard or something as a target. Okay, Mr. Lemke, be my partner here. So the first kick is double and triple roundhouse kick. Double, of course, meaning 2 roundhouse kicks. Triple meaning 3. So say Mr. Lemke is my partner. We'll just do it with the front leg, kind of like that last kick we did in the warm-up, okay? So double would mean I'm gonna turn my hip right at that target. I bring my leg up. 1, 2, 2 in a row. Let's do these where they hit the target both times. I'll do 5 with each leg, and then at home you'll probably pause the video and maybe do a whole bunch more with each leg to get extra practice, okay? So here's the double. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing on the other side. Get your hip turned, make a tabletop. Those are 2 kicks in a row to the paper. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Triple roundhouse kick means 3. There's a whole lot of ways to do the triple. You could do all 3 to the exact same target, or a harder way might be low under the paper, high over the paper, middle to the paper. So sometimes it means put the paper belt level. It's going to look kind of low, but once you do the high one, you realize it's not so low. Well, maybe I'll go just a teeny bit higher since I'm a black belt. Okay, so the low goes under, the high goes over, the middle goes to the paper, okay? I'll just do 5 each leg, and then at home you'll do a whole bunch more. Okay, and maybe, actually, it's probably higher than I think. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opposite leg. 1, 2, and 5. All right, and the other kick we worked on during week 1 to 3 is called shuffle step roundhouse kick. Here, if I do it right at you, it looks like this. So what happens is my front foot's gonna pull back about halfway. Essentially, it's gonna go underneath my body. Then my rear foot's gonna take a step forward. My foot still faces a 45 angle. It's in my guard stance, front foot forward, rear foot on an angle. So it goes halfway back, step forward, and then roundhouse kick. The other important thing, there's a rhythm. The rhythm goes 1, 2, 3. So if you watch the timing, 1, 2, 3. Or if you watch me sideways, you can see halfway back, step, kick, and then that rhythm is gonna be 1, 2, 3. So against the speed taper, say Mr. Lemke is my partner, it's gonna be kind of like this. It'll be 1, 2, 3. I'll do 5 with each leg, and then at home you can pause the video and do a whole bunch more. Okay, ready? And here we go. 1. Looks like it has to be higher. 2. 3. 4. Hold on tight. 5. Okay, the other leg. Same thing on this side. Ready? 1. Might as well just start by challenging the teacher. Okay, 2. 3. 4. Woo, one more. 5. Awesome. 10, 2, and down. Thanks, Mr. Lemke. So the self-defense we're working on in week 1 to 3 is some ground defense skills. So the first thing we learn is called the break fall. Here, I'll go sideways. So imagine like you're gonna fall, like you slipped on ice or something. A long time ago, these techniques were developed against like a samurai. Like what if a samurai was throwing someone on the ground really hard? How do you fall where you don't break your arm or hit your head on the ground or break your ribs or something? So we're gonna start with our hands in front. I'm gonna roll back. My feet will go straight up. The reason my feet go straight up is so my lower back is completely flat on the ground. Like here, there's an arch. Now, totally flat. My arms are gonna slap the ground. And I gotta time it just right. They don't hit the ground first. Like if I hit too early, you can see that puts all kinds of pressure on my shoulder and my elbow. A lot of times when people slip on ice, they get afraid and they stick their arm out, and then they break their arm. So you hit the ground at the very last moment, so everything hits at once. Notice my chin is super tight to my chest because you don't want to hit your head on the ground. So I'm trying to protect my head so I don't hit my head on the concrete. Also protect so I don't break my arm, trying to spread the impact. Now I don't think break falls feel good, but it's better than breaking my head or breaking my arm, okay? So we'll start on the ground like this, but you can imagine you slipped. This is like if you're falling literally straight backwards. So I go back like this and break fall. And the other point I will make is if you saw my arms, if you had a camera looking down in the room, my arms look like this, not like a T. This is really hard on my shoulders. So when I hit, it's more like I look like an arrow, maybe you could say. There's an angle, kind of looks like that. Let's do 5 of them together. So ready? Hands in front. Ready? 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Now the other break fall is called a side break fall. That's like, what if I was falling sideways, which might even be more common. So maybe I'll start from my rear break fall position. I'm gonna turn on my right side. Now you notice one knee is up, one knee is down. If they're both down, then I hit my ankles together and that really hurts. So this foot's up, this one's down, so my knees don't knock together, my ankles don't knock. Right hand palm down, left hand palm down. My chin is to my chest, so if my head hits the ground, it actually hits into my arm. Now if my head's up here, clonk, now it hits the ground, so that's bad. So I went from my rear break fall, and I turned to the right, side break fall position. Now it could be like even from standing, like if I slipped, I'll end there, but we'll practice it from the ground just to make it easier to learn and a little safer, less impact. So, and then I also do the same thing on the left side, everything identical. Knee up, knee down, palms down, chin to my chest. So right side, left side, right side, left side. One more time, right, left. Let's put it together. So we're gonna go rear, right side, left side, and back up. Let's do that 3 times together. Ready? 1. To the right, to the left, up. 2. To the right, to the left, up. And 3. To the right, to the left, up. All right, last skill is side kick from the ground. So if I was on my hip, if I got thrown to the ground, I'm on my hip, my feet pull in tight, I'm on my elbow so I can see the bad guy over my shoulder. Like you wouldn't catch me like this, relaxing and sleeping because I can't see. So up on the elbow, hand up, feet pulled in tight. If this leg's sticking out, the bad guy can step on my ankle, and then I'll kick with that front leg. So here we go, on my count, 1, side kick, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then to switch to the other side, just roll to the other hip. I'll turn my body just so you can see what I'm doing. Here we go, so look, I'm up on my elbow, feet pulled in tight, arm up, looking over at the bad guy, side kick, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, I'll have Mr. Lemke be my partner. He's gonna grab a big kick shield. Now he's gonna be the bad guy. So this is gonna be like I've already had fallen to the ground. He's gonna be circling around me and I'm gonna pivot on my hip, and then occasionally he's gonna come in close where I practice doing my side kick. Most of the time he'll be too far away. So if he's circling around me a little bit, see I'm pivoting, I'm keeping my leg between me and him, and all of a sudden, yep, if he comes in, pow, I'll kick him away. And then suddenly, pow, there's that kick. So I don't let him get close. One more time. Just like that. So you can even practice like that at home as well. Thanks, Mr. Lemke. Awesome. Okay, so last thing, let's practice our punches. Attention him out. Horse riding stance loud. Yep. Hand in front for karate punch. When I count, punch with the L. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Attention and bow. So that's the end of the first part of class for the material we're covering in weeks 1 through 3. Also remember to do the other video for the forums. So junior black belts are learning Thundering Tonfa. Youth students and adults are learning Lightning Bow Set, first degrees, Saikyo, and Shodan. So make sure you check those other links on the virtual karate class page as well. Attention and bow.